All right, good morning. This is W.A.W.G kennels, which stands for We Got Kennels. We're located in the Midwest here in Indianapolis, Indiana. What we're going to do for some of you today is upload this video so that some of you that may be new to the American Bully game, you will be able to correctly and timely fill out and submit your application for permanent registration in regards to your new addition to your family or your kennel, your American Bully. So we're going to get right into it. First, what you're looking at is the front of the application for permanent registration. This is what you will receive when you purchase a pup from a American Bully breeder whose pups or litter is registered or has been registered with the A.B.K.C. American Bully Kennel Club. All right, so let's get right to it. This is the front. You have the litter number. The litter number is the number for the entire litter that the breeder that you are purchasing the pup from registered. It will have the breed. Of course, we're dealing with the American Bully, so it'll say American Bully at the top. Then to the right of it, you will have that specific puppy's ABKC registration number. All right. Then up under that, it will have the date of birth of the pup. All right. Right next to it, it will have whether it's male or female. In this event, it's a male. Over here to the left, it will then have the sire's name, the sire's ABKC number as registered with the ABKC. It will have the dam's name and the dam's ABKC number as registered with the ABKC. To the right of it, puppy owner. This is to you. You are to indicate the puppy color here. With this specific application, the pup was white. So you write white. If it's white and black, you write white, black. If it's blue, tri-blue, blue tri, you write blue tri, or you write the three colors, blue, white, and tan. All right. If your pup happens to be microchipped, which mine is, that's why I have it blocked off. I microchip all my pups, all my dogs, period. You write in the microchip number. Whatever type of brand of microchip it is, you write that. If you do not have your pup microchip yet, you can add that later on. If you do not have a microchip in your pup yet, then you leave the tattoo/microchip blank and you leave the microchip type blank. All right. Now, moving right along. The owner of record is. This is the name of the kennel who registered the litter and who's selling you the pup. All right. It will have the sex here, and it will have the sex of the pup here at the bottom. So all you have to do on the front part of the application for permanent registration is mark in the color right here. If it has a microchip, you put the microchip number here and the type of microchip. All right. Make sure the name of the owner of record is the name that's signed on the reverse of this. So only thing needs to be done on the front, which the breeder that you're purchasing the dog from should already have the color marked in of the dog, and if the dog has a microchip, the microchip number and name. Minimum, it will have the color. That's all needs to be done on the front. So let's move to the back. Let's move to the back. All right, very important. This is the most important part of this application. This certificate is temporary. Permanent registration is required to establish ownership, participate in ABKC licensed events, and to register litters. So we're going to move to the left. All right. Color must be indicated on the front of the certificate, which, as you can see, The color is clearly indicated right here to be white. Okay, so permanent registration of a dog includes the registration and the 4th-generation pedigree. For those of you who are in the United States, you're going to want to check this first box, $30 US, is for a dog up to 1 year. So you're purchasing a new pup. I suggest you immediately, in a timely fashion, fill out this paperwork, either send it in or fill out this paperwork and then process your application online. What I'm going to be showing you here is the way to do it, where you process it online and you get it back fast. All right. I've not had a problem with getting it back fast by doing it the way I'm about to show you to do it. So if you want your paperwork back in your hands as soon as possible, you don't want it to get lost in mail and 3, 4, 5, 6 months go past. You still have to wait. You have to pay again if it gets lost in the mail. You're going to have to pay again. So what I suggest people do is spend the extra $45 and get 2-day FedEx rush service. Let's walk you through it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is check the $30 US box for dogs up to 1 year, because it's a new pup. It's 8, 10, 12, 14 weeks at whatever age you purchased the dog. So check the circle, check the $30 US circle. We want to move down. Additional options. 2-day FedEx fee. Check. It's an additional $45, but your application will be processed within 1 to 5 business days, and that's only for the United States. If you are out of the country, it's a few dollars more. But for everybody within the United States, and you check the $45 2-day FedEx fee, your application will be processed within 1 to 5 days, and it will be, as soon as it's processed within that 1 to 5 day period, it will then be immediately mailed out to you via FedEx, and you'll receive it within 2 days. FedEx will pull up to your house, and they will bring you an envelope with your registration paperwork. Excuse me. I've had no problem with getting my paperwork back very fast. Every single application I've done with the A.B.K.C, I do rush service, and I've received every one of them within 5 to 7 days. No more than 10 days, but 5 to 7 days, I received the paperwork. I received their permanent certificate. All right. So I urge you to use the $45 2-day FedEx fee, the rush service. That way, your application is processed quickly and you receive it back in a very timely manner, and you're not one of these people who are, after 3, 4, 5, 6 months, still waiting on your paperwork. Okay, so we're going to move down. If you want to go with the rush service, that's fine. It's $20, is $25 less. It is still processed within 1 to 5 business days once it's received in the mail, and it's sent back first class mail. I'm going to tell you the issue I have with that, right? The issue that I have with the rush service is that you're mailing it in. And if you mail it in, it takes, with the mail and mail being backed up, you have to wait the time that it takes for the paperwork to get to A.B.K.C. Once A.B.K.C receives it, it goes in a big old box or file folder with all the other people whose mailing theirs in, and they'll get to it when they get to it. Okay? Once they get to it, then they'll process it, and then they put it back in the mail, first class mail. But with the regular United States mail, sometimes, I mean, they're just up. So who knows when you're going to get your paperwork? I suggest just spend the $45. I mean, let's look at it. Most of you are spending $2,500, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $7,000, $10,000, $15,000 for a pup. If you can't afford to do $45 extra for rush service, not being disrespectful, but maybe you ought to be contemplating if you can afford to take care of this dog. All right. So let's continue. So I suggest again the FedEx 2-day. You'll usually receive it within 5 to 10 business days. I've had no problem with receiving my paperwork back within under 10 days from the date I fill it out, which I do it online. I always do it online. I never send it in through the mail, and FedEx delivers it directly to my home. So, or they'll deliver it to your place of business, whatever the address is on the application. So let's continue. Make sure, because the breeder that you're purchasing the pup from, if you're purchasing with full breeder's rights, this sold with full breeder's rights circle should be checked. If you are purchasing it without breeding rights, then into a pet home only, then this box will be checked. But make sure that you're not expecting breeder's rights with this pup, and you get home and find out and really look at it, and they check pet home only, and you spend $5, $7, $10,000 for this dog. So make sure when you picking up your pup, make sure first of all that you have a contract with the person as far as your purchase price, and if you will be receiving full breeder's rights, so that there is no misunderstanding. And when you do purchase it with full breeder's rights, make sure that the full breeding rights circle is checked. All right, hopefully I'm clear on that. Any questions about this video, you can ask them in the chat, and then I'll be more than happy to respond. So let's move over to the right. This is where the seller signs their name. If the litter is registered via ownership, meaning that two people own the litter, they're co-owners, then both signatures are required. Make sure that they sign the name correctly as per the name on the front of the application. Let me show you. This name right here, owner of record. See this highlighted blue box? This is the owner of record. If it's a co-owner, it will have two names. Make sure that this name or names match here and here. If there's only one owner, make sure this name is the same on the front. If it's co-owner, make sure both of these names are equally the same as on the front, which I just showed you. The date you purchased the pup, please complete new owner information below and the pup color on the front of the form. Of course, the pup's color is already on the front of the form, which I showed you. So this will be the date, the month, the day, and the year that you purchased the pup. Your name will go here, and you will sign here. Again, the month, the day, and the year goes here. Your name goes here. Okay? Your signature goes here. If you are purchasing that pup via co-ownership with another person, then the co-owner's name will go here and their signature will go there. But if there's no co-owners, then it's just your name and your signature. If it's co-owners, your name, your signature, co-owner's name, co-owner's signature. It doesn't matter whose name is first. Y'all equally co-owners, okay? Let's continue. If the dog is to be registered in co-ownership, please note that both owners' signatures are required if any dog is sold or when registering a litter. Now, when you go co-owner with someone, if you're registering a litter, both of you have to sign the litter registration paperwork. If you're going to sell pups and it's a co-ownership, both of y'all have to sign each puppy temporary certificate. All right. So the new owner's name, the new owner's mailing address, because your name is already up here. The new owner's address, you'll put your address here. Then you'll put your city. Then you'll put your state. You'll put your zip code. If you're in the United States, you'll put U.S. You'll put your phone number, and you put your email. Make sure you put valid information. All right. If there is a co-owner, then the co-owner's name goes, address goes here. The co-owner's city, the owner's state, the co-owner's zip code, the co-owner's country, which would be the United States or the same as yours. The co-owner's phone number, the co-owner's email address. Now, this part is very important. Dog's name must not exceed 35 characters in spaces and punctuations is considered a space. What does that mean? You have 35 boxes here. If you name your dog Benji dot Johnson, then you have to spell Benji. Each letter has its own box. Each punctuation needs its own box. Do not put a letter and a punctuation in the same box. If your dog's name is, just say it's W.A.W.G's Roscoe, it would be W.A. Each letter has its own box, and the apostrophe has its own box, and then the S has its own box, then space, Roscoe. All right? So you have to put space in between names that is separated. It's counted as a character used. You have to put each and every punctuation in its separate box, and it's counted as one as a character used. You have 35 characters, so there's no reason for you not to be able to correctly use the boxes allotted to you per characters. Okay, so I mean, if your dog's name has more than 35 characters, including punctuations, then that's a very long name. So make sure that you do not mess this up. If you have to, write it down on a separate piece of paper first, and make sure you're writing it, writing the name that you choose for the dog correctly, okay? So, again, do not erase, do not mark out, and do not white out. If you do, your application will be rejected and you have to start all over again, and you're going to be charged for it. So make sure when choosing the name of your dog that you spell it correctly, you type it correctly, and you use the characters as stated. Each punctuation needs its own box. Each letter needs its own box. And if the name is to be separated, if your dog has a first and last name, like I have Roscoe Pico Train, is Roscoe space P space Cold Train. Okay? So hopefully that answers your questions, or I was specific in that. If you have any questions or misunderstood something, just shoot me a message in the description in the chat section of this video, and I'll be more than happy to answer. If you choose, before we proceed, if you choose not to pay the extra $45 and you don't care how long it takes you to get the paperwork, then don't check the $45 box or circle, and then you would mail your paperwork to ABKC, American Bully Kennel Club, LLC, P.O. Box 2677, Spotsylvania, Virginia 22553, W.W.W.G, hashtag the A.B.K.C. All right. This certificate is issued with the right to be corrected or revoked by the American Bully Kennel Club, Incorporated. We reserve the right to change any and all rules, fees, etc. without notice. Completed forms become sole property of the American Bully Club, Incorporated, and will not be returned. So if you intend on wanting just this paperwork for records, I suggest you do it online, because if you mail this in, they're not going to mail it back to you. See, I have my registration paperwork because I do it all online. I choose the rest service, and we go from there. I think that covers this. All right. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to proceed. We're going to go on with what you receive. Once you fill that out, they process it, it's done correctly, you will receive something that looks like this. This is the front of it, and this is the inside. I'll go over this in a second. So what we're going to do now is go into the online application itself, and I'll post the link. I've pre-typed everything in so you can see it. Now this, let me blow it up a little bit. Let me see if I can blow it up a little bit. All right, right there. That's cool. So once you go onto the website, and I'll link ABKC website via the description box below this video. Seems like they've been having problems or they're changing their site. So I'll drop this link as well as the other links. And you're looking for this form right here. So let's continue. Application for a permanent puppy registration. You must have the blue application for permanent registration when applying. Front and back completed. You must click the registration tab when going online to register. Um, and the blue puppy card temporary registration that I just went over with you, you are to complete it and scan the front and scan the back, or complete it and take a clear picture of the front and a clear picture of the back, because you're going to need it when submitting this application online. If you mail it in, you don't have to take pictures of it. If you're going to do it online, as I suggest, so that your paperwork doesn't get lost in the mail, and if you're going to use rush service or expedited service, uh, I'd suggest doing it online so your paperwork doesn't get lost and you get it back in a timely manner. All right. Make sure that you type in all capital letters, so you might as well go ahead and put your caps lock on. Now, I didn't. This is just an example, but make sure you type in all caps. Let's continue. If the submission is incomplete, you will receive a letter back and will need to pay a $5 resubmission fee. So they're going to charge you an additional $5 if you mess it up. They're not going to process your paperwork, and you're going to have to do it all over again. So make sure you take your time when filling out this paperwork so that it gets done correctly the first time and gets processed immediately, and you get your final certificate back in your name or you and the co-owner's name. All right, again, that's the address of the ABKC. Now, what you want to do, this is what you would click on. This is the page that you will get when you're registering online. You want to type in the date that you are doing it. Today is January the 10th of 2022. ABKC number on the application card you put right here. Now, what is the ABKC application number? Let's go back to the photos. This is the number that you would put in. You do not put in the litter number, not the litter number. It's the puppy ABKC number. Okay? So that number goes here. All right? Owner and co-owner information. This is where you and the co-owner will be filling out, putting in the information. Remember, type in all capital letters. I put John Doe. Of course, it's not in all capital letters, but I'm telling you. Because I'm not actually processing this. I've already done all mine. So you put your name, first name, your last name, all capital letters. Your phone number. Make sure you use a correct phone number. Your email address. Make sure you use a correct, valid email address. Have your address changed. If your address on the back side of the application that you put in, and say you waited a while to send it off, but you filled it out, and for some odd reason you moved, then you would type yes. If you did not move, you just click yes. Click no. If you click yes, then you have to put a whole new address. But you put no, right? If your address is still the same. Then you put your address, you put your city, you put your state, and you put your country. Now, if this is a co-ownership with this pup, then you put their name, their name in all caps. I didn't put the phone number. Their phone number, right here. All right. And then their address, city, state, country. Dog information, very important. Whatever color the dog is, if the dog is blue and white, you put blue, white. If it's fawn and white, you put fawn and white. If it's a blue tri, you put blue tri, or you put blue, tan, and blue, blue, tan, and white. or whatever the color your dog is. Okay? Microchip. If your dog has a microchip, you put the microchip number here. All right? Or a tattoo. If you had your dog tattooed, which some people do, I don't. I just have a microchip. You put the microchip number in, or the tattoo number, which still serves like a serial number. If not, you just leave it blank. Whatever your dog's name is, which is whatever name, let's go back here, whatever name you chose for the dog here, right here, that's the name that you put here. Okay? That's the name. Now, this is where you upload here. Document uploaded area. All right? Upload complete front side of application. Please submit a clear, complete scan of the front of your puppy card. If any alterations are made to the application, it will be considered void and will be delayed. I repeat, if any alterations are made to the application, it will be considered void and will delay the process. So right here, you click add file, and what you want to upload, the front of the application, which is this. This is what you scan or take a clear picture of, put it into a file, and upload it. You upload it there. All right, the front. Then you need to upload the back. Upload complete a signed backside of the application. Please submit a clear, complete, and signed scan of the back of the puppy card. If any alterations are made to the application, it will be considered void and will delay your process, right? Your processing. So you want to click here and you want to upload the back of the application. Make sure there's no alterations. Make sure it's completely filled out. Make sure everything is right. You'll scan or take a good photo of this and you will upload that file. So now we're at the point to where you've uploaded the front here. You've uploaded the back of it. And if you want to make any additional comments or notes to them, you can do so here. Most likely you will not need to. Now we get down to the fee part. These are the fees. 2-day FedEx, United States only service. Your paperwork is processed within 1 to 10 business days and then mailed via 2-day FedEx. You must choose registration fees. Please note, current processing time is 6 to 12 weeks. This is if you do it regular, it's 6 to 12 weeks, and in most cases it goes way beyond 6 to 12 weeks. I know some people, it's been 4, 5, 6 months and they're still waiting on their paperwork. So I suggest just do the 2-day FedEx. Says your stuff is processed within 1 to 5 business days, but here it's saying 1 to 10. I've had no problem with receiving my paperwork doing it this way back within 10 days. All right, so max it should be no more than 12 days, but I've received every one of my pieces of paperwork for my pups back within 10 days. So let's show you what you need to do if you're going to go about it the way that I go about it. Please note, current processing time is 6 to 12 weeks. 12 weeks is 3 months. Nobody's really getting it back in 3 months doing the regular processing. So, I know some people 5, 6 months. I know some people have been waiting 7, 8 months for their paperwork. And maybe it got lost in the mail. I have no idea. I just don't do it that way. The extra $45 is worth me knowing that my paperwork will be back within around 10 days from submission. That's why I do it online. And that's why I pay the additional $45 processing fee. Which, if you pay $3, $4, $5, $7, $10, $15, $17, $20,000, which some of y'all are paying for these dogs, I'm for sure you can afford $75 to do rest service. If you can't, maybe you need to think twice about purchasing a pup. Anyway, so you check the third box down, which is 2-day FedEx. This is only for the United States. If it's FedEx through the UK, Ireland, Australia, or Canada, it's $65. If it's FedEx from Germany, Netherlands, Spain, or Portugal, it's $65. If you are in the Philippines, Denmark, Sweden, Italy, or Israel, it's $65. If you are in Poland, Bulgaria, Romania, Serbia, what's that? Czechia, whatever that is, or turkey, it's 95 additional dollars on top of the $30 base price. All right. So for those of you in the U.S. want to do 2-day FedEx, as I suggest, it's 45 additional $45. You click that box. It will be a total of $75. It's $30 for the base price, and it's additional $45 for a 2-day FedEx after it's processed. Okay, and then you click submit.